Hey everybody, this is David ps5 and welcome to week 11 of Madden football. This is David ps5 and we had a really rough loss last week where I made mistakes. We're going to end that right now. The reason I'm telling you we're going to end it right now is because I said so. Really not the greatest reason in the whole wide world. But I keep forgetting, and I do this all the time, and this bug's been here for like the longest time, that you pretty much got to go in here every week, and they put in the wrong offensive playbook every freaking week. If anybody knows how to fix this issue, I mean, I would really appreciate it, because it is so freaking annoying. I mean, why is it putting in the wrong playbook every single time? That's just so annoying. And that's what's screwing me up because I'm not used to the different playbook. So, anyway, let's get playing.
It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports. And up next is Darius Slay, who's made 33 tackles this season from his spot in the secondary. It's the Eagles and the Colts, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Hoosier State and Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Indianapolis Colts. Brandon going alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Colts in this matchup. The bottom line, there are not many defenses in the league that seem up to the task to slow down their ground game. But this might be one of them, and in everything that they have said and done this week, they feel confident that they're ready.
And I like how you set this whole thing up because it comes down to this to me. These first few carries, they're going to be exciting, they're going to be physical, they're going to be battles. Each side trying to establish control in this game.
Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his third season, Jalen Hurts.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterback shake-off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. To throw at the outset, here's Hurts. And right away, he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. On first down, Hurts. Complete. Smith has it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. He's locked in early. 2 nice first down completions to start.
I like the fact that he's seeing the whole field early, spreading it around a little bit in the early going.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. midfield stripe. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That's an early scramble to be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. The Eagles at 4-5, a game under 500. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. The numbers for Sanders last week, the hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. This defense for the Colts, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll be 4th down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Out onto the field comes the Colts offense for their first series. And at quarterback, a new name this year to the franchise, of course, but certainly not new to the league. A 15-year vet, former league MVP, Matt Ryan.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Chester Rogers, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, 1 play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, 1 play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he will be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Still first down.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. They go play action with Hurts. And that is incomplete. Force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Hurts sets up to throw it. The Sanders has got it complete. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. That's going to bring up fourth down. Only a gain of 2 there. Aaron Sipos on a punt as he'll get this one away now. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Edwards gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for him.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
You know, are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way. That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team They lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Now it's Ryan. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Fortnite came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've dropped 4 straight games coming into this one, remember, but they have the lead here. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They start on the ground here at Sanders. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 on 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Sanders. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 33. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a carry for Sanders. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. But these two teams, the Eagles and Colts, the 2 best rushing teams in the NFL in 2021 a season ago. The Eagles, maybe a surprise to many that they were number 1 last year. Of course, they got a lot of rushing yards from their quarterback that helped them. And the Colts, with Jonathan Taylor, they were number 2. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 52 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Here's Hurts to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Sanders. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Sanders again, but he will lose yardage here. Back to the 4-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him. Bring it up 4th down.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. And the Colts getting ready to go. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10. At their 25-yard line. They'll start with a give to Taylor. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now it's Ryan. That'll be caught by Rodgers. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to give him a 1st down.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Now, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Ryan. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a gain of 34. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant. I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points. Go by.
Touchdown, Colts! Paris Campbell, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts are an extra point away now from moving out in front. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. This offense returns to the field. And a former Penn State star, Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season. But some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Well, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year not to take anything away from him. This will be caught by Brown. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. This will be caught once again by Brown. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. On second down now, it's Sanders. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Another run here with Sanders. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field. I'm like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Hurts. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Sliding out of the pocket. And some room to run now. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another first down at the Colts 16. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goddard, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make this a 6-point game. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it will come out to the 25. The Colts going to take over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Ryan. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Ryan. A throw for Pittman is intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38. To throw again on second down. Hurts. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Another run with Sanders. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. And it's the home side who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Antonio Gibson, a force in that first half, with 2 touchdown runs. From there, we head over to Atlanta to check out the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. The Bears locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have.
Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And that one is at halftime as they've got the lead over the visiting Detroit Lions. Tyrod Taylor having as hot a start as you can. 4 first-half touchdown passes. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Colts, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. But the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. A give for Taylor running right side. And he stopped immediately there. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. Give him 2 on the play there, and that'll be good for an Indianapolis first.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Ryan, and his throw is incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and it's 3rd and short.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not at all. He came off of that guy, the deep guy. He came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Sanders. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing is Hurts. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. He's got the first down and more. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
They'll run. It's Sanders. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 99 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Sanders. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll run on first down. Sanders. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Ready, go.
Up the middle they go. It's Sanders. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Sanders. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down.
19.
Back to throw here. They'll roll him out right. And that will be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Colts taking the field again, running back Jonathan Taylor at center stage. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. Tackle made by Kaiser White. We know he can fly to the ball, and he showed it there.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So the opening play on the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Ryan. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
That sack backs Ryan and the Colts up a bit here, facing a 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Dance into it, and he's going to go down again. Marcus Epps, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And he's able to get it out of there. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. 131 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Hey, check that.
On first down, Sanders. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Down this close to the goal line. First down. Surprised that wasn't a run.
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Sanders will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown. This one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense. And it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
Elliott on for the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Now this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this fourth quarter. Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10. At their own 22. Ryan. That ball caught by Campbell. The 40. The 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple more times to give them a chance.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 177 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Okay, ready?
They'll go again with Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Up the middle they go with Sanders. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he's got some space here. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. It's the former Buckeye Paris Campbell out with the rest of the offense here. When you're in a zone like he is, what's the conversation like on the sideline between he and his quarterback? Is that a one-way conversation of, hey, just keep getting me the football?
It actually is probably a 2-way conversation because he wants to keep getting him the football because he's seeing the payoff. You know, getting the ball to that guy means yardage, and as we've seen, touchdowns in this game. So I think both of them get more and more excited about the possibilities as things continue on.
Yeah, so far it's been over 100 yards and the 2 scores. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Ryan, they'll set up the screen to Taylor. They find some open field here. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 36 yards on the play.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
They'll run here with Taylor. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Here's Ryan. Being chased out. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Eagles defense able to hold. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Now a carry for Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
That's Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker who got in and dropped him to the turf.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Philadelphia, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.